His speech is part of our expert speaker series. It's going to be 10 to 12 minutes in length. The title is 3.5 Tips on Creating a Dynamic Thought of the Day. Ladies and gentlemen, Maurice DiMino.
Let the good times roll. Say it with me. Let the good times roll. Oh yes, it is Mardi Gras at this contest. And by chance, does anybody know what Mardi Gras means in French? What does that mean?
Fat Tuesday?
Fat Tuesday, that's right, Fat Tuesday. Now, I don't know if you know the origins of Fat Tuesday, but back in the provincial French times, right before Lent, all those French people, they would eat everything. Pork, chicken, beef, milk, eggs, everything on Tuesday, the day before Ash Wednesday. Why? Because on Ash Wednesday, and then for the next 40 days, they're on abstinence, they can't eat. But you know what, I'm not here to talk about Lent. I am here to talk about the significance of Mardi Gras to this contest. You know what it is? A celebration. You see, it's a celebration. They're celebrating as they enter into the Advent of Lent. In fact, does anybody know what's the biggest Mardi Gras celebration here in America? What's the biggest Mardi Gras celebration?
New Orleans.
New Orleans, that's right, my friend. Let the good times roll. Let me hear you say it.
Let the good times roll.
Oh, yes, New Orleans. I don't know if you know, but secret societies would come together and their crews, their clubs, would put on parades, expositions, presentations to celebrate the Advent of Lent. And that's exactly what we're doing here at this contest. Yes, societies, secret societies, better known as Area B20 and B22, are bringing their crews, are bringing their clubs to do their presentations, better known as table topics and the International Speech Competition. So ladies and gentlemen, today is a celebration. It's a celebration of contests because they're going to go from area to division all the way from international. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, can I get a let the good times roll?
Let the good times roll.
Oh, yes, definitely. So today is a day of celebration and a happy Mardi Gras to each and every one of you. Now, another celebration we have is where we celebrate the republic known as the United States. So at this time, if everyone can please stand and face...
Oh yeah, we didn't do that.
Oh, no, that's okay. Thank you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the invocation, or better known as the thought of the day I gave at a recent area contest. And what I want to share with you is the 3.5 tips for a dynamic thought of the day or invocation. Now, I know that when we give the invocation or the thought of the day, it is the beginning of any type of ceremony, any type of event. And we have a distinction of making it as powerful as possible because, ladies and gentlemen, you're beginning that meeting or the event. Now, wouldn't you agree with me that's an important position to be in, to the kickoff? So today I'm going to share with you 3.5 points. The 3.5 points I'm going to share with you is better known as RSS. RSS. Now, for you computer geeks, no, I'm not referring to, rectified simple syndication, real simple syndication, but it's kind of real simple syndication. See, the RS in my world for invocation is this. The R stands for research. Now, I know that usually the thought of the day is only 2 minutes in length, but usually this is the type of speech I research as much as possible. What did Samuel Clemens, Mark Twain, once said? Give me, if you want to have me speak for an hour, I'll take about 5 minutes to prepare. You want me to speak for 5 minutes, give me the rest of the day. You see, when you speak for such short lengths, it's got to be as powerful as possible. So research, Wikipedia, Webster's Dictionary. What I do is this thing I call chemistry, where I take and I research as much information as possible. I put as much data down as possible. Why? In chemistry, we take a little bit of this, take a little bit of that, we put it together and we shake it up, and we use what we could use, and we throw out the rest. So that's the R, research. The S stands for significance. You see, the thought of the day is significance. So during all that research, what you're going to do is you're going to tie in the theme of the event to all this research. So when you're doing all this research, you've got to find the significance. Now, when I was doing my research for Mardi Gras, let me tell you something. All the research pointed to Lent and the Catholic day, the Catholic celebration of Lent. Now, does that have anything to do with contests or competitions? No. So, but during my research, all of a sudden it became clear that it was the beginning of a celebration. Beginning of a celebration. Not about you, but contests. I think those are celebrations. And not only that, this was the beginning of the pathway for these speakers to go all the way to the International Speech Contest. So there, I had my significance. Also, when you're doing this research, try to tie that theme into what you're going to say. I've seen plenty of thoughts of the day and invocations that people get up here and they give a standard thing. Hey, we're here together, let's have a good time and all that. No. Why waste your audience's time, and not only that, your time, giving such a standard speech? So see if you can find the significance. How does it tie? How does it tie to the event, the thought of the day, the theme of the context? Now the last S in my RSS is summary. And I love the definition of summary. A few choice words signifying the most important meaning. And wouldn't you agree, if you only have 2 minutes, you want to get the most important word, wouldn't you? So that's what you're going to do. You're going to take a look at the significance based upon the research, and what you're going to do is you're going to summarize it. What are a few choice words that you could use so that you give the most? Let me give you a case in point. William Henry Harrison, our 57th president, gave one of the longest inaugurals ever. 1 hour and 45 minutes. Now, I'm sure if I asked you, you probably didn't know who William Henry Harrison is. You didn't know he's the 57th president. He is just lost in the history books. But yet, a speech that was just a little more than 2 minutes is probably one of the greatest American speeches ever given. Do you know which one that is?
Gettysburg.
Exactly. See that? By simply saying that, you already knew I was talking about Abraham Lincoln's Gettysburg Address. And I suggest study that for summary, choosing select words that say the most, give you the most power pack. He said in the Gettysburg Address, he said this: "We cannot consecrate the ground here. Those men who went to war, living and dead, have consecrated these grounds much higher than us lowly few here." Consecrate, battle, living and dying. They say because of that funeral address, I don't know if you realize it, but the Gettysburg Address was a funeral. It was a ceremony for the men that died at Gettysburg, one of the biggest wars during the Civil War. It was a 2-minute speech, and it was a eulogy. But yet, that simple speech that summarized the feeling, and not only that, the intent of what America stood for, coalesced the North and the whole nation so that we came forth and completed that great war. So the RSS, research, significance, summary. Now, I'm sure you're absolutely wondering, what's that half a point? Now, this half a point came up during my conversation with Marshall Bruce Bush about the thought of the day and how we can relate it to the outside world. Now, we know that our thought of the day, the invocation, the pledge, whatever, has to do with a contest or whatever the meeting's about. But let's take it a step further, and let's use it in the outside world, in the world of keynote. Now, usually when you're the keynote speaker, you're either the kickoff keynote speaker or you're the end keynote speaker. But let's say you're the beginning keynote speaker. Let me tell you something. You have a job to do. Won't you agree? You're kicking off that person's event. Do they have a theme? If they do, here's a perfect formula to follow. Why not, during your half hour, 50 minutes, however long you have for your keynote, why not do a thought of the day? Why not acknowledge all the work that they put into the theme of this event into your keynote? Again, I've been to plenty of keynotes, and let me tell you some valuable information, unbelievable speakers, but yet they don't acknowledge their hosts. You know what? I mean, you look around the room, there's decorations, there's themes, there's bumper stickers, everything to go along with the theme of the event. But yet here's this keynote speaker that they probably paid, and they're not even acknowledging the theme of the event. Now, yes, I know what you have to say is very important. But wouldn't you say just as important is to acknowledge the theme of the event, better yet, to acknowledge your host? So why not, in your 50-minute keynote, or how much time you have, why not put in the thought of the day? Research the company, right? What's the significance of the theme? I remember one time I was doing a keynote, the theme of the event was sailing into the future. Now, what could I have done to tie it all in together? Well, of course, this company was moving into the future. They're a tech background. So why didn't I incorporate that in? And that's exactly what we should be doing, the significance. And also summary, right? Again, you have a great speech to give, maybe you have 30 minutes or 50 minutes. Why not summarize it? Give a 2-minute thought of the day within your keynote. So now this is what I'm going to ask you. The next time you're given the opportunity, and I do believe it is an opportunity, for the thought of the day, the invocation, just don't pass it off because it's only 2 minutes. No, it's more than that. You're the start of something great, be it a Toastmasters contest or a corporation's 50th anniversary. Do your research. What's the significance of the theme as it relates to the organization? And not only that, summarize it. As I said, you could say a lot in a little bit of time given. And of course, my half a point is take the RSS and feed it right into your keynote. Mr. Toastmaster.
Woo!